Woman who predicted 9/11 has some really bad news for 2017 and beyond. Barbara Vanga successfully predicted the election of President Obama, the Kursk nuclear submarine disaster, 9/11, the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami, World War II, the date on which Tsar Boris III died, Boris Yeltsin's election, the date of Stalin's death, East and West Germany's reunification, the conflicts in Syria and the separation of Crimea, among countless other predictions. Barbara Vanga, as she was commonly referred to, lost her sight when she was just 12 years old. After being swept away by a storm, the young girl somehow survived, covered in dirt and stones. Vanga made her first predictions when she was 16 years old, as she helped her father find a sheep which got lost from the rest. Somehow, the young girl managed to give her father a detailed description of the yard where the animal was being kept. By the time she turned 30 years of age, Vanga was without a doubt one of the most successful prophets of the Balkans. As news about her abilities spread across Europe, Barbara Vanga was visited by countless statesmen, even Hitler. Interestingly, Barbara Vanga was visited by King Boris III in 1942 and 1943. She told the king that he would die on August 28, 1943. In February of 1943, she told the king that she could see a red flag waving above his palace. It turns out that her predictions came true. King Boris III died on August 28, and the red flag was raised above Sofia in the autumn of 1944. Barbara Vanga died in 1996, but she predicted some of the most incredible events in the human history. The blind mystic managed to predict the 9/11 terror attacks and the 2004 Boxing Day tsunami, and also seemed to have warned the world with her predictions about the rise of the terrorist group ISIS decades ago. Incredibly, in 1980 she predicted the sinking of Russian nuclear submarine the Kursk in 2000. At the turn of the century, in August of 1999 or 2000, Kursk will be covered with water, and the whole world will be weeping over it. Future predictions made by Barbara Vanga are that in 2023 the Earth's orbit would change, which would melt the poles and set fire in the Middle East. She also predicted that a great Islamic war would begin in Syria, culminating in complete control of Rome, in 2043. Furthermore, according to the prophetess, China will become a world power in 2018. But, as many agree, she's probably out a few years here, as China is already an economic and military powerhouse. The blind mystic said that a new energy source will be created and global hunger will start to be eradicated between 2025 and 2028. A manned spacecraft to Venus will be launched. She made a couple of very exotic and apocalyptic predictions as well. Vanga assured that there will be no survivors on Earth, circa 3797, and that aliens will help man to live underwater in 2130, or a possible war on Mars in 3005. Here's a list what the blind mystic managed to correctly predict. The Kursk nuclear submarine disaster, global warming, 9/11 horror. The American brethren will fall after being attacked by the steel birds. The wolves will be howling in a bush, and innocent blood will be gushing. The 2004 Boxing Day tsunami, a huge wave will cover a big coast covered with people and towns, and everything will disappear beneath the water. Everything will melt, just like ice. A great Muslim war beginning with the Arab Spring and culminating in the rise of ISIS. The election of Barack Obama. She predicted that the 44th president would be an African American. She also predicted he would be the last US president. World War II. The date on which Tsar Boris III died. The breakup of Czechoslovakia. The breakup of the Soviet Union. The breakup of Yugoslavia. East and West Germany's reunification. Boris Yeltsin's election. The Chernobyl disaster. The date of Stalin's death. The conflicts in Syria. The separation of Crimea. The future seems extremely interesting. If anything, 2023, the Earth's orbit will change. Nobody really knows what this means.